Only Live Online Morning Show. I'm your host, BKP, and I'm glad to have back with me this morning after several weeks, Karleen Ferguson. Good morning, Karleen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm awesome.
Now,
Fantastic.
Schottenkirk Ford is one of our sponsors here at FetcherNews.com, but let's tell the folks why you have to wear that jacket, because somebody wore a green T-shirt today. Do you know that person?
Somebody did. Yeah, that person would be me. And as I sat down in front of the camera, Lonnie said, "That's not going to work." And I could reveal to you, so when you have this lovely background of LJ and green screen, but when Karleen wears a green T-shirt on Fetch Fitness this morning, well, you can see, like, I'm hoping that my head is doing bobbling things around like
Put
this.
your clothes back on, young lady.
Now I'm proudly wearing this jacket from who again?
Schottenkirk Ford.
Schottenkirk Ford.
Okay, glad to have you back. Where have you been?
Well,
I see pictures. You're having a good time because, Karleen is an Advocare distributor, and so are we here at FetcherNews.com. And I started January 1st, right in January.
That's right.
I started Advocare.
Yeah.
Very excited about it. Very happy about it. Things are going well. But you get involved and you go to the trainings and the meetings and the conferences to see what's the latest and what's going on. And you've been out and about a little bit, haven't you?
I have. We were out in Dallas, Texas. Probably the only place hotter than LJ, Georgia. I'm just kidding. They're probably hotter places, but Dallas in the heat, it was warm, and it's right after some of the police shootings, so we got to experience some of that. Advocare proudly gave a very substantial amount of money back to the families of the officers that were shot.
Oh,
and so
that's
they were
awesome.
there at our opening night. I go once a year. We get trained up by our doctors, and when Dr. Karleen, who is a renowned doctor in nutrition, he's called in for all the FDA meetings whenever they talk about nutrition.
Right.
Karleen is called in, and he's on our scientific and medical advisory board, along with Dr. Stanley Dudrick, who invented IV feeding. He's also on our scientific medical advisory board. So when these guys come together, it is a powerhouse of information. And we have some new Advo Green products out. So for those of you out there that do all kinds of kale and spinach and broccoli and greens in your drink, in your shakes to get those phytonutrients, and I know you know what that is, but when you do that, now Advocare has simplified that process, and you just scoop a little scoop of this green powder that can go in your shakes and give you all those green phytonutrients that are so beneficial to our health. So we got trained up by them last week, and it was incredible. Once again, I just am so proud to be part of this company and represent Advocare for everything they stand for.
Well, I'm happy with everything I've seen, from the company to their character, their products, and I'm happy with everything I've seen. Now, just real quick, because we want to take our time. We want to take our time. We want to talk about something else that's near and dear to you and all of Americans out there. It's near and dear to. I started the year with an Advocare Cleanse. And I think the suggestion is like every 90 days.
That's right.
So I'm doing one this week.
Wonderful.
So it'll be the third
Okay.
one. I did the first one in the middle, and now this week I'm doing one after that. So if your schedule permits, next week I want to do an on-camera weigh-in and measurement.
Okay.
But
That's great.
I'm rolling the dice because I'm going to do it on camera.
I know. I love it. And I've got all your measurements. No, you
Right.
look fantastic. I know you're going to be very happy with
Well,
what you've done.
I feel good, and my
Yeah.
energy level, I like my spark, I like to hydrate.
Yeah.
This heat,
Isn't it great?
well,
for
I
that?
mean, I'm getting exhausted in this heat, and like in the afternoons, I will make sure I will get me the rehydrate, and it's great.
It is.
But let's take our time. Advocare, we can talk about that, and we always do, and you can find us on Facebook. You can find Karleen on Facebook, FetcherNews.com. You want more information about Advocare, go to FetcherNews.com. There's a button right at the top, and we will be glad to help you any way we can in support and coaching. What do you want to talk about this morning, my friend?
Well, as you know, Brian, I lost my dad 2 years ago to a 10-year battle with Alzheimer's. And it affected my family huge, just financially, emotionally. 10 years is a long time. This disease is brutal, and so many Americans are hit with this disease. But so when I was asked to, the State Alzheimer's Association is bringing a fundraiser, an annual fundraiser here to LJ, Georgia. And when I was asked to chair this event, I was wholeheartedly excited to help. And the event is August 26th through the 28th. It's called Deep South Wine and Music Festival, and I love the way that the Alzheimer's Association decided on this event. Well, we know that when you have Alzheimer's or dementia, a lot of times music brings back and triggers memories, so that you enjoy. And I know certainly for my dad, that my dad loved music, and every time you would put on songs for him, especially in his later phase of the disease, he would remember. It would just bring his brain back. So
that would be a helpful reminder. Songs would help.
It does. It does. It really
Interesting.
triggers that brain, that they remember. That was a memory so deep, embedded in their brain.
It's interesting. You say nothing scientific, but you say, well, I heard that song this morning, now it's stuck in my head all day.
Yeah.
But that may be real, that music does that to us.
Exactly right. I do believe it is. And that's for many Alzheimer's patients. And so I want to say a couple of things. We are going to we're having this event, but I want to also reach out to anyone that has a family member who has any form of dementia. And this includes Parkinson's, just dementia you're not sure if it's Advocare. Listen to me, Alzheimer's. If you're not sure if it's Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's Association is an incredible resource for you. It is, the website is alz.org, and you can put in your zip code and you can contact anyone. They will help you. There are numerous articles and information. It was such a great resource for us. We were able to find my dad, and I grew up in the Atlanta area, so my dad was in the Atlanta area, down in Buckhead and in that area. And my mom was able to find churches in that area because she was still working her business full time, and the churches that house kind of a daycare for dementia patients. So Daddy was able to go to this church, and the pricing was very reasonable. And we found that through the Alzheimer's Association, that alz.org website. So there are so many resources out there. They are there to help you. Also understanding each season or phase of the disease and all. So just wanted your audience to know there is help. You are not alone, and to reach out to them to get that help. Now, about the fundraiser, we are so excited. It's a 3-day event, and there are rack cards like this, and I'll leave you guys some here in case somebody wants to come by and get them. But at our local Chamber of Commerce, you may be from one of the surrounding counties in the area, but I want to, if you go to deepsouthfest.org, you can find all the information about this event, August 26th through the 28th. It is a wine and music festival. They have also done research that red wine and champagne does help with cognitive development, to keep your mind a little strong and healthy, and some of the components of that. So we combined this for this event, the wine and plus LJ. We are known for our LJ wine country and so many of our wonderful award-winning wines and vineyards in this local community. But so we combine that wine and music festival for right at Deep South Farms, which is a beautiful venue that we have here in LJ, and it'll be a 3-day event. Well, the first night is actually at the Ingelheim Vineyard, and that's a seated and served dinner. And we have Coast to Coast Catering is coming up to cater that event. So, and this is a 3-day event, so you can buy tickets for any of the events, or you can buy a package to go to all 3. And you can get the tickets again at deepsouthfest.org. But so Friday night is at Ingelheim, a seated and served dinner, and Barefoot and Boone, a local artist here, will be playing for that. Beautiful seated and served dinner out in the vineyards. And then Saturday at Deep South Farm, There is a VIP hour with some of our sponsors, and you can buy a ticket into that. But I'm excited about that VIP hour because we're not only highlighting our local vineyards. So we have Karleen Vineyards and, oh my gosh, I don't want to leave anybody off. Karleen, Ingelheim, LJ River, Fainting Goat, Maitree. So all of those vineyards will be highlighted in our VIP hour, and they'll be doing wine tastings along with my family in Atlanta. My mother built one of the largest catering and events companies in Atlanta, down in Buckhead for 25 years, Carroll Parks Catering. And my mom has recently retired from the catering business, but my sister, who was our incredible executive chef behind the food, she is the special chef that's brought in these for that VIP hour. So Laura Rogers with Sea Parks Catering will be there with her food, and she's also going to do a tent in the big event. So we have the smaller VIP hour, and then we break off into the field. We'll have different vineyards out there, but represented, but also the tents of different foods, restaurants. Canterbury is going to be one of the food tents. So different tents of different restaurants, as well as catering companies that will be part of that. So we'll just have a nice long evening of music. Really excited about the bands. We've got some artists out of Nashville that are coming in, and there's Taylor Lauren, who is a young rising country star. Laughlin is a couple, a husband and wife team group, incredible. The Accomplices, these are a super fun kind of a rockabilly, bluegrass, high energy sort of band that'll be there. And along with our highlighted guest is Gretchen Peters, and she is in Nashville's Hall of Fame for songwriters, and has also written songs for people like Faith Hill, Bryan Adams, George Strait, on. And she's written her own albums as well and own songs, and she's our highlighted guest for that night. So it's going to be a great night of music and fellowship and wine and great food on Saturday at Deep South Farm. And then, as if we haven't given you enough.
And then?
Then on Sunday, we are going to have a bluegrass brunch at Fainting Goat Vineyard. And that'll kind of end the weekend. And it's just, so lots of fun. Come up, enjoy the weekend in LJ, find a nice cabin to cozy in with, and attend all the events, and know that it's all for a great cause. All the money stays for resources and information and help in the North Georgia area. So the funds that we raise will stay right here in our local North Georgia area.
Sounds great. Lonnie, clear my schedule for those days, okay? Because I had to clear my schedule.
Yeah, you'll want
Lonnie, make sure Lonnie has all this information today. We've got the flyers. I've seen the poster he put up.
Right.
And make sure we're getting it on our community page, and put it on all of them, Lonnie, all 10 community pages throughout FetcherNews.com, all of the North Georgia counties, and let's support this. We love you here. We love you and Robert. We care a lot about you, and I do remember you going through this, and you're still continuing to go through it. But I want to say thank you for not what you went through with your father, but coming out and saying, I'm going to do something about it, and that's important. So I want to thank you for your hard work for this.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's going to be a great event for us locally. It brings money to our economy, but I love the fact that the money is going to stay here in North Georgia, and it's just going to be a great time. And it's all about it's what I am all about. I'm all about health and wellness. It's so important for us to stay healthy, both nutritionally, what you eat, what you put in your body, how you move, exercise, keeping your mind strong and healthy. So it ties right into everything I represent with Advocare, and just encouraging our community to be healthy.
Well, when there's illnesses, you still have to keep going. You still have to keep working. You still have things that have to be done. And families, for so many different illnesses out there, they're just devastated and don't have the help or resources or know where to go.
Right.
And all too many times, somebody that is not dealing with that Not that they don't care, they just are not living it. And the families that are dealing with things like this don't realize, they realize, hey, we need some help.
Right.
And go ahead and ask, because I like what you just said about you were able through this organization to find churches that were able to do a daycare throughout the day, to where your mother and sister, because they had to keep that business going.
Right.
You can't,
Right.
just like we're out of business,
Right.
you know, so it was a struggle. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
all
welcome.
your hard work.
And I do need volunteers. I don't want to interrupt you, but I do still need volunteers. And if you volunteer, you get into any of the events free, or the event that you volunteer for, you get in free. So you can contact Brian or myself, Karleen Ferguson, and I will put you to work for a great cause, and I promise you'll have a great time.
We'll have this flyer and all the details on FetcherNews.com in our community section. You go to community, any website, go to community, hover over there, click on communities, just start scrolling through and look around at everything we have to offer, and this will be up there. We'll be, it's August 26th through 28th, so we'll be talking about it week and right up to the time